to Young at Heart Live. I'm Kathleen Wiley, and I'm a Jungian Psychoanalyst in North Carolina in the United States. And I am here with Deborah Henson-Conant, a composer, a mentor, a creative, a coach. We both play the harp, and that's why we call this Young at Harp. And almost every week we come together to focus on a question. We start with questions, not answers, and we invite you into a conversation of discovery. And if you are joining us live, then hopefully on the platform that you are viewing through, you can put in comments, and if technology works right, we'll get to see those and actually have your input into our live conversation. So, musical vacations. Episode number 180. Did I say that? We're taking musical vacations. My brain's already a little on vacation. And suppose, what would it be like to take a stroll through the park of your own spirit vis-a-vis your harp? So,
Yeah, we thought about, I was out for a run this morning and I was thinking about how lovely it was to be out there running. And I was thinking about musical snippets, which is what one of the things that I teach in Hip Harp Academy. And then I came home and I was dunking my head in a pot of cold water, which is what I do when I come home. And I was listening to the radio and I heard a guy on the radio talking about his school of honk. Now, honk is a thing that happens on the East Coast, and it is where a bunch of people get together and they parade and they play band instruments. And the philosophy around honk is very similar to the philosophy that I had around music as a kid and that I love to still have, which is there's no barrier to entry. You can start playing with other people the minute you start playing. And also that there are musical games. And someone was asking about this in the academy as well, in office hours. She was like, I've started making a list of the musical games that we learn in the academy, but it's hard for me to actually have fun with the games. I keep wanting to try to do it right. So I just wanted to show an example of a musical game, which also is this idea that that anyone could do this. So now it may, well, first of all, if you have a harp, so it sounds like this is just one game. It goes like this. That's the game board. Now, if you're thinking, well, wait a minute, I couldn't do that. If you had someone who'd never touched a harp before, you could say to them, see this string here, that red string down there? That's going to be the string you play. When I point to you, you play that, and then I do this. And then we jump up here. We can play any note. This happens again. And you can play any note. There's like a rhythm there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 1 and 2 and 3. Because the harp is ringing, you have all this space. If you were walking, you can feel that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. I could do ballet, 7 and 8 and 1 and 2. And so you can do all kinds of things with it. And then as you get more comfortable with it, the person who's doing that, they might think, well, there's another red string down there. Could I play that one instead? And you can. And the beauty of setting up a game like this is I'm basically setting, and the harp is particularly, it's just a great instrument for this, because once it's in tune and once you put it in a tuning, every note is correct. If I set up this in the bass, literally anybody could come and play anything. You could practice patterns. So you get to do anything, and then you also get to experience being musical with it. So what does being musical mean? To me, being musical means like when you're a kid and you put on a cape, like I'm being a superstar, a superhero. It's playing as if. You can. As if it's expressive. and letting your whole body do that. So it is a really, I mean, that's a vacation. Now, if you were like, well, I'm sick of being on that beach, what do? You can always move it down, skip over one string and move it down. Now it's like just a shadow version of it. Still play the same game. Then it just takes you away for a minute and you can come back. So you're just playing with music. And I mean, of course, I love doing complicated stuff, blah, 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 blah. But being able to, having that, knowing that you can walk into the park of your instrument at any time and have that experience, and that you can invite others to walk with you. And the one thing that you have to leave outside that park is your critical faculty that says, oh no, that doesn't sound good, or oh no, I'm not doing it right, or oh, that you didn't play the rhythm right, or blah 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 blah. It just isn't about that anymore. That if you walk through a park, oh, I stumbled, I did it wrong. We're like, oh, it goes up and I don't know. I mean, it's the engagement, and it then it creates this new world in which you're inside of music, walking around.
You don't have to apologize at all. I mean, as you're talking, there's several things, and one is I'm thinking about the psychoanalyst Winnicott, who talked a lot about the importance of play. Winnicott was a pediatrician before he became a psychoanalyst, and so that ability to play, which means explore, discover, experiment, not start out knowing. We play in our conversations, and play allows creates a creative space. Yeah.
So we use a question. I mean, that's our game. We use it all the time, over and over. Never gets old. And I just realized this is also like a question. This is a question, and you answer it some way. And then you ask the question again. You come back to it. And then you maybe look at the question a little bit differently. Well, what about this way of looking at it? And then let's go back. Yeah. So tell me more about when.
Well, I was thinking about, if you watch little kids play, they're always asking a question, whether they verbalize the question or they go about like, what can I make my Tonka toy do? Or, how can I get this truck going around the track now? Or how do these Legos fit together? I mean, there's always this questioning that's going on in the background, but it isn't the kind of questioning that the logic analytical mind takes over and, oh, there's got to be a right answer, because that is the antithesis of play as far as I'm concerned, and vacation.
Right. I am having such a physical response to what you're saying. I'm feeling it literally in my stomach. I'm feeling like there's something tight, like letting go. Like I feel striations of things letting go, realizing that the things that my perfectionism hinders me from doing, which is extremely painful. I haven't until this moment thought about applying a question like that. Like, what is it? What happens when I do this? Well, what happens when I do this? Just thinking about it the way you did, because always I get interested once I get started, like, oh, my sock. All right, well, let's see. Can it be this? And like, okay, but then what can I put it on my head? Can I actually, can I? If not, can I put it on my elbow? Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. You just start playing instead of, let's talk about that for a minute. You start playing instead of. Now you're just about to go on a vacation. You're about to go to the beach, which is like my antithesis of anything I would ever want to do. But you're probably going to have fun. First of all, you're going to be with your sister and your dog. You're also going to have your book there. You're going to be working on your book. But what are you going to be doing that is a vacation versus what you do normally?
That's a great question because for me, what determines whether I feel like I've had a day off or a vacation is having absolutely no set appointments and no agenda. That for me, vacation means I don't have to watch the clock. I don't have to be a certain place at a certain time. I don't have to do a certain thing at a certain time. A vacation day is I can get up leisurely and I can take my tea out and stroll on the beach. I can come back and take my harp out on the deck and play. Of course, I've already taken Gigi for a walk. Let's not forget that goes first. Um, but I can really be present to what my own felt sense wants and what the desire of the moment is that will meet that felt sense. Because my days are so scheduled with, an appointment here, an appointment there, and keeping
Right.
on track time wise. And so to be on vacation for me means to have that space to be present and to be with where I am in the moment and meet myself there and that desire and that felt state instead of having to pull myself out of it. I had this experience this week. My floor harp, I have two floor harps, Rick Rebarth Merlin, our harp, the Merlin model. And then I have a Heartland Harps Dragon Heart, which he no longer makes, but because he only went to carbon fiber harps. But I have a Dragon Heart, which is just has this beautiful. It's a beautiful shape. You don't lean the heart back. You pull up. You
Mhm.
sit up close to it. You snuggle into it. You don't have to. It's designed to not lean back, and it's bigger than my Merlin. And all weekend long, every time I walked through my great room, it called to me, you know.
Mhm.
And we had some friends here, and I was doing other things, so I never got around to accepting the call. And finally, on Tuesday, I was like, stop. The thunder heart, the dragon heart keeps calling to you. So I went over and I tuned it and I sat down and I played for 20 or 30 minutes. It was so satisfying. That to me was a moment of vacation in the middle of my work week because I aligned and I was with where I was in the moment, which is so much to me what play is about.
To be in the moment,
To be in the moment.
right, and to be without a schedule. And
Yeah.
as you were talking, I was thinking, what are the characteristics of this that are like that?
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, and what could get in the way? I was also thinking, so this is like that in that there's no set time. You can put the rhythm to it, but
Mm-hmm.
you also don't have to.
Right.
You can just play this little snippet and it creates a harmonic environment in which if you play single notes like a bird is flying up here, then it's just this open space to play with. If you try to put in something that you think is music, like, well, I don't know, that's working because it's a melody. But it, anyway, it's an open space. And what you were talking about. And I was thinking, what would get in the way of somebody actually experiencing the play of that would be thinking, I'm not doing this right.
Right.
I'm got to do something else next. I'm it doesn't sound good, which would be like I don't look good or I'm not. And so I want to pull up Victoria's comment, but then I want to ask you, how do you suspend the during the day we're in this belief that like, well, I've got to do this right and I've got to go from here to there and this is it. How do you suspend that when you're on vacation? And here I'm going to pull up, I don't know what Victoria, play is a gateway to judgment-free exploration. Yes, it is. And I think everything in life could be.
Mm-hmm.
Play has certain characteristics that help us. For example, once you get this, there's nothing to remember. so I remember that I do that, and then I have freedom up here. And if I can think about it as setting up something, and then I'm a bird and I get to be a bird, then that I can play with it. And I'm thinking about on the weekends, I indulge myself in
Mhm.
a long run, and part of what's wonderful about it is that I don't have to think about anything. I know where I'm going to run to, and I know it's 2 miles out to here, and then I'm going to go up there and up this hill, and I'm going to get to this one place, blah, 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 blah. And I also have really interesting stuff with me, like the book that I'm reading right now on tape, the Flight of Starlings. And it helps me. So my mind is rich and open and playing, and my body is moving.
Mm.
And
Mm.
so that suspends it for me. If I were to go try to sit on a beach, I would just be like, like that. But I have a feeling you do know how to sit on a beach.
Well, I do. I don't sit a lot on the beach because I burn so quickly. I mostly walk on the beach in the mornings and the evenings, um, and listen to the waves. And
Mm.
it's me more about the environment. And you use the phrase harmonic environment when you were showing us the snippet, and that stuck with me. And I also want to say, as you said that, and I was holding harmonic environment in my mind, a hummingbird flew right in front of my window and stopped at this plant I have. I always think hummingbirds are blessings. So I think the harmonic environment and play does create a harmonic environment that is judgment free because we're getting in harmony. The outside movement is in harmony with the inside felt sense or experience. There's an alignment, there's an attunement. And for me, the musical vacation is when I can let myself sit down at the harp with the intention of discovering the progression, the chord, the note
Mm.
that is in alignment with what it is I am feeling inside. So that the improvising becomes about how does my internal experience come back to me from the heart? And then how does that experience, resonance of the heart, shape my internal experience? And it does become a dialogue between my inner felt sense and the resonance of the heart.
As you're saying that, and I'm thinking, okay, so for Kathleen on the beach, it sounds like she experiences the waves the way I experience a harmonic environment.
Mhm.
And she's able to be in it for some reason that it doesn't, I don't have that connection. I might
Mhm.
have that connection more now, from you having told me about it. I might go and look for that and look for the exploration of it. I'm
Mhm.
also seeing that everything about this is actually reminiscent of that environment, of the waves coming in and going out, of the clouds maybe changing the kind of color that
Yes.
you have, and then it's shifting back, and you're allowing yourself to be in that discovery. And I know that sometimes when people set up snippets like this, they're like, but I don't like the way it sounds. And
Mhm.
so I'm thinking that would be me on the beach. I don't like there's no whatever. Like that would be where my brain is. And I'm thinking, what would it take? And I mean, I'm such a creator that's like, but I'm not doing the waves. They're doing themselves. Like how is that fun?
Ah, yeah.
But I get that I might find a way. I might, if I allowed myself, find a way to actually sing into them. Or, I mean, just because music is such a part of my self expression that I might find a way to do that. I think when I go on the beach, I'm like, I don't know. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to do this? Or like, I don't know. versus actually seeing, okay, well, what's my experience of the beach? What's my engagement with a beach?
Yeah, and isn't that so true again for some of us who come to the harp? We don't come with what's my experience. We come with this idea of, well, oh, this is what everybody else is doing at the beach, so I should be doing it.
Right,
This is what everybody else is doing at the harp. And it totally destroys the creativity
right,
and the exploration and any sense of play.
right.
But to be able to be in the environment, whether it's the harmonic environment of the harp or the harmonic environment of the beach or any nature setting, and to experience the impact of that on the person I am or the person you are, and how your own engagement with it shapes the experience. I mean, that's really the dialogue with the harp when I'm really present and let go of my expectations is I'm shaping the music, but the music is shaping me. It's a circling of creating together,
You know,
of
it's funny.
playing.
You're sorry, I just interrupted you. I'm thinking about, as you were talking, and I was thinking about how I like to engage with nature. And I really love water, but I like running water. I like
Mhm.
running water and rocks together with running water. And I like, I don't know, discovering things. I like discovering rocks or whatever. Like, and I feel nervous now because now I have to worry about ticks and blah 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 blah. So, which I get why the beach is helpful for that. But I'm thinking when it comes to snippets that probably some people feel the same way, that it's about finding the snippet that, well, first of all, allowing, like, letting myself go to the beach, and maybe there's something for me there. I don't know. I could find something. But also then finding a harmonic environment that does work for me.
Right.
Like I was exploring this one the other day. That's just
Mhm.
3 chords. I mean, and then this, and it goes back. And if you can't do that, you just do one. And I've set up the tuning so
Mhm.
that it's got that relationship. And if you just learn a few little things, if you learn a few little patterns, you can start to be expressive with it in a certain way if you allow yourself. So I'm thinking that, um, as we look at snippets or in environments,
Mhm.
harmonic musical environment, and I see there's a rhythm here because this rhythm is like ba, 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 and
Mhm.
I think I even did. Let me just see here for a second. I think I might have looped it.
Mhm.
No, that loop is not happening there. I looped it so that I could just kind of play around with it. So I'm thinking to take a vacation in music, you might want to explore different landscapes, and having simple snippets to do that, and then understanding everything you don't have to do there.
Mhm. Exploring different landscapes because so often on vacations, that is what people do. They
Mm,
go to a different landscape, and even in the area they're in, they experience different landscapes. When you talked about running water, I thought about all of the beautiful waterfalls I've visited and when I've been in vacation in Western North Carolina. So,
mm,
it's that exploration of different landscapes, and on the harp, the snippets that you offer are a way of doing that. I also want to say something about the word vacation for a minute because the root of the word vacation is vacate.
right.
And so I, I have always aspired to create a life that I didn't want to vacate. That I
Ah,
always, my goal, and part of why I actually live on the water, I live on a lake, is I wanted to create a lifestyle I wanted to be in. I wanted a life I wanted to stay in. And so for me, the vacation often is about vacating some of the old distorted patterns of efficiency and productivity that actually interfere with my being in the life I've created that I want to be in. So it's like a reset to leave that environment
Mm.
reminds me it's like letting go of those other things that can so easily creep in and keep me from experiencing the life that I do have that I've created that I want. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
It does make sense, but I'm still, part of my brain is back on the waterfalls in North Carolina, which is beautiful. But help me out here. The minute I think waterfalls in North Carolina, here's all the things that I think: snakes, mosquitoes, ticks, spiders that live in your shoe and bite you when you put your shoe on. Like this, there's this whole universe here that I think is like what other people, that comes into other people's minds when they think of improvising or playing an
Mm.
instrument. I
Oh,
think
how interesting.
so. I want to hear what you have to say about that, and um, I'm just going to pull this up and see if what Victoria is saying. Maybe a white sand beach with chairs and umbrellas on a sunny day is not my jam. Find a rocky beach. And I hear you, but like, why go look for it? I mean, I get it. Yeah. I mean, yes, I might like that better. God, I'm so, no wonder people don't like going on vacation with me.
Well, yeah, you go to the worst case scenarios.
Well,
And
when it comes to bugs and snakes, yes, I do.
so my attitude about snakes is they're a part of the world, and as long as they go their way, I'll go mine. So when I see snakes in my yard, which often I do because there are woods around, when I see them, I just say, "You go on your way. I'm going to go mine, and be sure and tell your friends I'll let you go."
Yes, but
Yeah.
you see them. I'm always thinking like that the snake, that I'm just so like blah, 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 and the snake is like, what is your mouth? You know, like, I mean, I know. I can't believe we're talking about this. I remember my grandmother teaching me about black widows because we lived in California, and she was like, when we go in here, this is what we do first. We open the door and we're like, hello, everybody. I'm coming in. I'm going to be going over there. I'm going to be getting that jar and I'm going to be going out. Everybody got it? And then we go and we do it. And this was her way of this, how you deal with black widows. So, but I'm aware that I can become so spaced out
Hmm.
that I don't see the snake and the snake doesn't see me. Like, I feel like I sometimes surprise wildlife because I'm so off in another world that they actually don't see me.
Well, I don't. We have 5 minutes left, so I'm not sure we can unpack this.
Okay, forget about
But let me say this. So then, what I'm hearing is when I go into the woods, I'm going to be wearing my long pants. I'm going to be wearing my hiking boots, ankle high. I'm going to be sure to have on a long sleeve shirt, have sprayed myself with insect repellent, and have on a big floppy hat. Now,
Why
now,
don't I just play the harp instead?
now, the other option is to take your grandmother's approach, and as you're about to go into the
True.
woods on the trail up to the waterfall, to say, okay, nature, okay, wildlife, I'm here.
Yeah.
And you all know I get a little space cadetty. That would be my word. I get a little, and I might not see you, but I'm here to do no harm. I want to just be and commune in your space and not bother you. And so you don't have to bother me. And I'm going to put that intention out there. And then you just let it go and go.
Well, I hear you. And actually, I do use songs that way.
Okay.
Hello, all you bears. I'm out here now. I'm on my way. Because, okay, so, all right, I can tell what I'm seeing here. I know we're coming to the end here. And I think what we're seeing here in action is, what is an environment that you love?
Mm.
Whatever that environment is, whatever it is, what is it that you love? And can you, are there musical environments that you feel both safe and interested in, or maybe a little unsafe, but there's things that you can do. And then and then actually visiting those places, also being aware of your own anxieties. Like, I want to go look at what are my anxieties? Am I willing to do something about it? If I'm not, then I'm going to make different choices. But I will say that for me, because I do have some of those anxieties, even though I go out running every day, but it's basically the same path. This is a place that I do feel safe to take a vacation and to discover and to explore. And now that we've talked about it, it's something I will do more consciously.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. And you're saying something I think is really important is that let's take vacations in a harmonic environment that resonates with who we are. And when we're ready to stretch and explore a new harmonic environment, we'll know.
Mm,
We'll know if it's worth the equivalent of the mosquito repellent and the long sleeve shirts and that musically we'll know when it's time to add in another note or chord or speed up a little bit. Those would be things that would scare me, you know, in that environment. But that we'll know. But it starts by honoring and being willing to play because feeling safe is important, an important aspect to play. It's hard to play when you don't feel safe. So, musical vacations, playing, harmonic environment, safety, all are a part of the field we're talking about. And being okay with it. That, we don't have to be comfortable in the same harmonic environments.
well, yeah. And as you were talking, I was thinking, well, what do I do in the academy? Like, one of the things that I do at the beginning of every session is I create a harmonic environment or snippet
Mm-hmm.
like this to give people. And I realized it's kind of like somebody showing me, what to look for in nature or how to actually be able to, find a mushroom I might like or notice when there's mosquitoes or whatever it is, so that I can actually engage more in the beauty and the environment that I have all around me. So
Mm-hmm.
um, this is making me, more interested about teaching these
Mm-hmm.
harmonic vacations or, musical vacations, and also thinking, who can show me? Is there someone who can show me? And it's also making me think about this guy who's made the honk school, and just the opportunity to sit down with someone like that and see, what are we each creating in our own way that we might want to share.
Yes, yes, yes. And I want to echo that thought that if you play in the harmonic environment that you feel safe in and that
Mm.
really allows you to relax and have that vacation, and I play in that environment that works for me, then we can come together and invite each other into that safe space. And so in that way I expand and you expand.
Right.
And
Yeah,
that's the beauty
that
of
is
relationship.
right. You can show me and I can show you. And I just realized one of the most important things to take with you at any moment in this is, and this is enough.
Yes.
And this is enough. And I am enough here in this moment now. That in itself is a beautiful vacation.
Yes.
So thank you, Kathleen, for this extra session, which I thought we weren't going to happen because I thought you were going to be already on vacation. But
So
we,
did I.
right. Okay. And so we likely won't be here next week. But thank you so much for everyone who joined us and who joins us afterwards, and all the beautiful things that you write and say. And Victoria, yes, if harmonic vacation tour guide could be my next job, indeed. Thank you so much. Kathleen, have a wonderful time. I can't wait to hear what you discover at the beach.
Okay.
And we'll see you all in a couple of weeks.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.